I feel like every time you talk about him, you're never really that angry. Is it because you see...
I said I don't hate the kid. Then he came out yesterday and said, well, now that you love me. Well, I never said I love you. But...
Dana White, the president of the UFC, has always been a polarizing figure in the world of mixed martial arts. Known for his non-nonsense attitude and outspoken nature, White has never shied away from expressing his opinions, especially when it comes to the fighters under his promotion. Recently, White's comments about Conor McGregor's decision to fight Logan Paul have stirred up quite a bit.
So what happened was, I went over to Ireland. I received some award from one of the colleges over there. So I told all the fans, meet me at the bar tonight. I'm buying drinks. And all these people show up. Everybody keeps talking about this guy, Conor McGregor. For some reason, whatever it was, I don't know why. I was drinking too. But I thought he was a heavyweight. So I come back and I tell Sean Shelby, our matchmaker, I said, this kid Conor McGregor, he's like, yeah, I know him, I've been watching him, blah, 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 blah. We end up signing him. So he flies out to Vegas and he and I go to dinner together. And I'm fucking like, I'm blown away by this kid, right? So when we leave each other that night, I get in the car and I called Lorenzo. I said, let me tell you what, I don't know if this kid can fight or not, but if he can even throw a punch, he's gonna be a huge superstar.
Controversy and discussion within the combat sports community. Conor McGregor, one of the most famous and successful fighters in UFC history, announced that he would be participating in an exhibition boxing match against Logan Paul. Dana White has consistently praised Conor McGregor, referring to him as a unicorn in the sport.
What's going on with Jake Paul, Conor McGregor? Is that fight happening or what?
Probably not, no.
Are you closed off to it completely?
I'm never completely closed off to anything. I used to say that about, things, but I don't say that anymore. You never know what could happen.
So do you think that Jake probably has a little bit more to prove to you as a fighter?
He shouldn't even be fighting Conor McGregor. There's weight classes for a reason.
What if Jake can cut to 145?
he just cuts half of his body off.
Hey guys, welcome to some breaking news, and this is pretty bonkers. This is coming from Conor McGregor. He says the rumors of a bout with Topuria are false. I am in preliminary agreements with the Albani family to face Logan Paul in a boxing exhibition in India. I have agreed. I will then seek my return to the octagon. Now, there is no way I can't see this happening if Conor has agreed, because Conor is going to be the biggest stumbling block. There is no way Logan Paul turns down this opportunity.
I like Logan a lot. Great kid. Who in this room thinks that's a great fight?
He's fighting.
Raise your hands, please, if him and Dylan Dennis is a great fight. I know he's fighting. Nobody? One guy?
Then they're going to have these crazy, extravagant press conferences where it gets really heated and they're arguing and they're just going back and forth at one another. And then it's going to be marketed as the biggest fight of all time. There's going to be so much anticipation built up around it. People just can't wait until that day comes. Then finally, it's time for fight night. All the prelims are pretty good. They have like a 20-minute walkout. And it's the most underwhelming fight you've ever seen. And I'll just imagine that Jake wins, Conor gets millions of dollars, and the next day we're talking about the fight being rigged once again. That's exactly how it's going to play out. We've been here like 8 times. Don't fall for it. This fight is going to...
White admires McGregor's willingness to accept any fight, a trait that has endeared him to fans and contributed to his status as one of the UFC's biggest stars. Conor McGregor is a unicorn. Yes, he's funny. He's got the personality, he's got that thing, but at the end of the day...
I mean, this is bonkers on so many levels. You can already see one of the first reactions to it. Toxplicity an hour ago saying a sex pest and a crypto scammer. Lovely. Merry Christmas, everyone, right? Merry Christmas. Obviously, right now, America is asleep. When they wake up, this news is going to go absolutely bonkers, because you're taking 2 of the biggest stars in the world. Obviously, Conor McGregor's reputation is in the toilet after everything that he's been through in 2024. I think Logan Paul's reputation has been in the toilet for quite a while. So it's bonkers. The whole thing is bonkers. Obviously, we have seen Conor box before. He boxed Floyd Mayweather.
Did you fight Floyd or something?
Yeah.
Did he pay you to lose?
Nah,
What happened?
he didn't pay me. I wish you'd pay me.
How much you owe you?
Probably between 2 and 3.
Yeah.
You got it on you by any chance?
I have in Nigerian money. I'll give you 10 million in Nigerian money. That's about $1,100. So is that your only loss? Was Floyd?
No, I didn't lose. It was an exhibition, so there's no loser.
There's no loser in exhibition?
No.
So you both are winners? It's like a tie. It's
I
not a
don't
good
know.
feeling. It's like tongue kissing your sister or something. Not a great feeling.
How many chicks hit you up after the
16.
Mayweather fight?
Can I be honest with you? Hey, something changed that night.
No offense, but I saw you up like after you were like flexing after you didn't get knocked out, and I was like, this guy's gonna f so many chicks.
What people really loved about Conor McGregor, he never even turned down a fight. There's video footage of me and Lorenzo standing in his house. He just wakes up in his underwear. He's been training for a fight. The fight's off. Conor spent loads of his own money. We told him, you see him sort of absorb it for a minute. He's like, well, I'm going to the gym. Call me later and let me know who I'm fighting.
On the percentage scale from 0 to 100, what are the chances that Jake Paul ever fights Conor McGregor?
0.
0.
Yeah.
Never happened.
Listen, man, I get it. These kids, listen, both these kids, him and his brother, have done a good job of injecting themselves into the fight world. I am a huge Boston Celtics fan, okay? I love Nate Robinson. Nate's awesome, okay?
Right.
Have you ever seen basketball fights? Have you ever seen when fights break out in the basketball court?
Yep.
Yeah. Some of the shittiest fights you'll ever see in your life, okay?
And that's what people like you can have, all the personality and all this people love. Killer's Conor was a killer. Doesn't care, doesn't want to know, doesn't want any more money, nothing, and shows up and he delivers.
Yeah.
So Conor has been incredibly successful. He's made a lot of money, and he's had his ups and downs outside and inside the.
Conor McGregor literally would fight anybody. I've dealt with 1,000 fighters. Oh, this isn't the right fight for me at this time. This isn't that. This isn't this. This kid, we've been in the house that he was renting. And when I think it was when Jose fell out, he literally, this is what he said to us. I don't give a who you get. I'm going to work out. When you figure it out, call me and let me know. Conor McGregor is a unicorn. Yes, he's funny, he's got the personality, he's got that thing. But at the end of the day, what people really loved about Conor McGregor, he never turned down a fight. There's video footage of me and Lorenzo standing in his house. He just wakes up in his underwear. He's been training for a fight. The fight's off. Conor spent loads of his own money. We told him, you see him sort of absorb it for a minute. He's like, well, I'm going to the gym. Call me later and let me know who I'm fighting. That's what people like. You can have all the personality and all this people love killers. Conor was a killer.
Octagon, but as for a guy who was, on the dole and was a plumber, he's actually a really smart businessman. He's been one of the best partners that I've ever had in the history of the sport. Yeah, an important part of the history of the UFC. Big. He opened it up to
on Conor McGregor because he knows that would be a big fight, obviously, and it's something that he wants, and that hasn't happened yet. We haven't seen Conor McGregor win a fight. I mean, he beat Donald Cerrone, Cowboy Cerrone. Cerrone looked like a deer in headlights, as I pointed out that night. Yeah. That's the only victory he's had in 7 years. Well, here's why I don't mind it, though, Shannon. I appreciate this fight because it's pure entertainment. Yeah. It's an exhibition. Mm-hmm. It isn't Jake Paul training with professional boxers, essentially being a professional boxer, but getting in the ring with non-boxers or geriatric dudes.
All kinds of new eyes. He literally set Europe Logan Paul, a YouTube star turned professional boxer, has made a name for himself by taking on high-profile fights.
Conor McGregor is a unicorn. Yes, he's funny, he's got the personality, he's got that thing. But at the end of the day, what people really loved about Conor McGregor, he never turned down a fight. There's video footage of me and Lorenzo standing in his house. He just wakes up in his underwear. He's been training for a fight. The fight's off. Conor spent loads of his own money. We told him, you see him sort of absorb it for a minute. He's like, well, I'm going to the gym. Call me later and let me know who I'm fighting. That's what people like. You can have all the personality and all this. People love killers. Conor was a killer. Doesn't care, doesn't want to know, doesn't want any more money, nothing. Shows up and he delivers. Yeah. So, Conor has been incredibly successful. He's made a lot of money. And, you know, he's had his ups and downs outside and inside the octagon. But as for a guy who was, you know, on the dole and was a plumber, he's actually a really smart businessman. And he's been one of the best partners that I've ever had in the history of the sport.
Yeah, and an important part of the history of the UFC.
Big.
He opened it up to all kinds of new eyes.
Yep. He literally, you know, set Europe.
Including bouts against fellow YouTuber KSI and boxing legend Floyd Mayweather. The announcement of McGregor versus Paul was met with mixed reactions, with some fans excited about the spectacle and others questioning the legitimacy and purpose of the fight.